check. All right, check. Good morning. I wanted to say hello, see how everybody's doing today. It is Saturday morning. It's pretty early. It's like 7:15 where I'm at. Dog's still sleeping. Everything's still pretty chill in my house. But I wanted to use this as an opportunity because I had a stream yesterday or a couple days ago. And I got some really good comments and some great feedback. And the feedback that I got was something about chord theory. So I thought today I would dig in and talk about chord theory, right? And I'm not talking just chord theory from the music theory perspective. That's one thing we're going to talk about. But we're going to also talk about where it unfolds on this grid, what this grid does. I just want to see my levels to see if the volume is really good on the microphone. Yeah, it's okay. All right, so what I'm talking about is how do we apply this theory to electronic instruments, right? Like, how do we apply this is the question. So I have a couple pieces of gear in front of us. I have a OPXY, I have a Move, and I have my Elektron boxes, which I always have in front of me. I can't live without Elektron. But we're going to have a conversation about the modular, these boxes, and polyphony, right? Which is multiple notes at one time. And in any chord that we write, that's the aim, is like, how do we make multiple notes at once that do not sound bad together? And I'm going to say that again. How do we make multiple notes work together and they don't sound bad together, right? And this is all outlined in the circle of fifths, all right? The circle of fifths, and I know a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to learn music theory. Well, guess what? You got to learn the language, right? Because that's what this is, the language of music. And the circle of fifths is this circle. It's in a lot of places. It's on the internet. It's everywhere that you can see music. So if you just Google music, if you DuckDuckGo music, if you Bing music, use AI, do whatever you want. They're going to talk about the circle of fifths, right? And the circle tells us what's in every key, meaning what notes make up that key signature. We're going to just talk about something simple. I'll pick something like F or G, something not too complex. And in my teaching, what I recommend is pick a key, learn it pretty good, stick with it, and then learn a second key. By the time you learn the third key signature, you would probably start to understand what I'm talking about musically about playing in key, right? Okay. So the challenge here is, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you have to learn music theory. You have to. There's no choice, right, to get good at chords. And I'm not talking you got to learn it on a level like you're the best musician in the world. You just have to learn it enough to make chords, okay? And I'm going to teach you how to do that, okay? I'm not joking. This is going to be faster than you think, right? So when we look at a traditional piano, the layout of the keyboard is like what it is in the Elektron world. So if I'm here, and I'm looking at this little key bed at the bottom, and we pick the key of C major, and I'm going to make sure I pick a piano here, so give me a second. That's too much. Let's just look. I want regular. I'm talking. Okay, so we got a piano. I'm going to set it right here. And it's loaded. Okay, that is the key of C major. That's all the white notes on the piano. Same with if I played it on the Digitone. So that's in order, right? So just in order, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, and if I play it here. Now, on the push, you have to make sure that you go to note and you go to C major, because that's what we're playing. And I'm going to say octaves, fourths. We can break this down in a couple ways. But if I'm going to say chromatic, in this guy, now it's laid out chromatically. Now, I unplugged it. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do a couple things. I should go get that mixer. I'm coming. I know this is going to take me a second. I'm coming right back. I'm coming right back. I'm not lying. I'm coming back. Oh. Okay. Thank you. I'm here. I swear. All right. So, I'm not lying. Like, you have to learn theory. And if we're going to learn music theory, I just want to have us the ability to hear more than one instrument, or me to switch it very easily. So there we go. It's just a mixer, a line mixer. And okay, so on Ableton and Move, and sorry, I have pens everywhere and all this stuff because I was going to write a bunch of stuff. You are literally doing the same thing as you do with the Elektron stuff. Here we go. No? That's a stereo signal. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to what we were talking about. So I have devices. They do different things, right? And it's not to be confusing, but the pianos are laid out different everywhere. And that's more what I'm trying to teach you right now, right? So just plug this guy in. I say mono. Okay. There we go. Okay. All right, so you have this piano, right? Same idea. We're just this one's a little loud, sorry. Right, there's a delay too, sorry. So, okay. So, when we're playing music, right? It's the idea that So that's the scale here. Now I got it in chromatic mode. Okay, so hopefully everybody's with me now. We're talking about the key of C. The easiest key signature to start with is what I just played like 100 times. Okay, so let's write it down on paper so you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so music theory. We said C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now there's modes, and immediately when you write a key, it's just you're writing positions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? The little ones, with the exception of 7, are all minor. So these are chord, the way the chords just are made up automatically, this is all you got to learn, is like a 1 chord and a 4 chord are major chords. You say major 7. A 5 chord is a dominant 7. 2, 3, 6. I just put minor 7 so you can learn for quickness. And 7, the makeup is automatically diminished. Some people, I think half diminished is what I hear. Okay, so very quickly, educational wise, you're like, wait a second, he's talking about stuff. And can I find a good place to set this? Like right, right. Just look for a second. Take a screenshot, right? So in this layout, like I'm not joking, that's how this stuff lays out. So if I play the first chord, which is C major, it's every other note, right? That makes C major, okay? And I'm just turning down this, right? And if I play it here, and this is set up as mono right now, I think. So sorry about that. Let me see if I can find. Okay. So see, that's same chord, right? C major. And if I play it here, right? Now, the big crazy thing that a lot of people get confused about is on a grid controller or on an Elektron box, we can quantize the scale. I can't do that here. I can't just say I only want the notes that are in scale. If I do that on the move, and this is what happens on a push in key, and it's in fourths. So that first chord is that easy. It's like your fingers make a triangle. They did this on purpose with the fourths and the grid. And every time I play a triangle, it's like I'm doing three notes like this. On a keyboard, right? So the equivalent, and same thing here. You know, we just play all the way up, and we would play these chords. You know, we'd play a C chord is the first chord, major. The second chord is D, and it's minor. Third chord is E, and it's minor. Fourth chord is F, and it's major. G is major, and it's a dominant 7. Then you got A, and you got B, diminished, and you got C. Okay, so these are your chords that are automatically made up in a key signature. They're automatically made up. Now, a user had made a comment. They said to me, can you please go in depth and talk more about how you make chords? So right now I'm teaching everybody on stream exactly how I write music, okay, how I make chords, right? This is every time I make music, it's the same thing. And I'm not joking. You practice this every single time, okay? So right now, if we were going to make a song, quote unquote, and I'm not joking, but I'm joking, you do what's called a song progression, okay? And this is to get the band all on the same page so somebody can solo or somebody can start writing words over music. And you pick these things seemingly at random, but you're not. Because these chords on this side of the fence make tension in a way. And the ones up here are like resolve. Okay? So remember that like major chords feel like they resolve, they make you come back home, and minor chords and diminished chords make you feel like there's a little bit more tension. When I say this, it's not a joke because like anytime people were on the train tracks and in old movies, you had diminished chords play, you know, and you knew somebody was in trouble. You know, somebody's like, I need help, right? So diminished got like this thing where it makes people feel tense, right? And when we write a progression, sometimes you just pull it out of the sky. This is not a joke, but there's very popular ones, like a 1-4-5 is popular. Blues progression. If I could write today, 1-4-5. Excuse me. A 2-6-1 is like a very popular jazz one. So this is what I say is jazz. This is rock or blues because they're very similar. Pop music follows that same thing. And then there's different forms that you could just go on for days, right? So like I like practicing what I call is like a 2-3-6 is one of Joey's favorites. So I'm just going to say Joey's fave as a joke. And there's other ones you can do like a 1-5-1. Those are very simple ones. I'm going to just put simple. Now, you can do more than 3 chords. I'm picking these out of simplicity so we have something to work with, right? Right off the bat. And I'm hoping I don't hurt any of this stuff. It's just going to stay. Okay. All right, so here we are, and we're going to practice a couple of these in front of everybody. Now, on the move, it's the easiest because the grid is fixed. And if I did the notes here as well, I can also say C. I can say I want it fixed. Ionian, on, and then C. So that's... Yeah, so those are the same chords, right? Now, if I played a 1, 4, 5, I would play 1, 4, 5. Sorry, I'm not very good at this because I'm 4 again, come back to 4, back to 1. Okay, so that's kind of like the way you would play it if you were playing on like both instruments. And that's the first kind of progression, 1, 4, 5, right? Now, you make these up as you go, and as we make up techno songs, the idea is that you do this. You just like make stuff up as you go along. So if I'm using C major, and I'm going to make something up in front of everybody on stream right now, excuse me, hold on a sec. I'm literally going to write a progression like right now in front of everybody. And in techno, the less you do, the better. So let's say we just sat on a chord. What if I just sat on like a 6 chord, which is A minor, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the chord I'm looking at, 6, right? Okay, so if I just held that chord, this is not a joke, sequencer's running, I go to the drums, and say I want to pick a different drum set, because who knows what that is. I'm just going to pick one that we all kind of know. Okay, so I got this drum kit. Right, and I'm making a beat. And so now I'm going to play the 6th chord. A is A minor. It's A, C, E are the 3 notes that make up A minor. Excuse me. All right, so now on one of the boxes, I just hit record, you know, and then I'm going to play. So those are the notes in C, right? Right. And on this one, same thing. Right? So now if I hit record, 5, 4, 3, 2. I just played an octave down, right? So there's chords playing here. There's a beat on this device. And I'm gonna unmute this guy, same thing, track, record. So I'm just playing like a 6 chord this whole time, right? Right? So, stop, let me pause. If I play any note in the A minor scale, it will work. It'll sound like I'm a good musician and I know what I'm doing. So, not a joke, V, I is 6. This is a 6 chord minor, you know, is what we're playing. And it's called Aeolian is the name of the scale. They're named, okay, so we'll get into that later. But that scale is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. I'm doing it on purpose. It's the easiest scale. That's why I pick it. It's like you know your alphabet, you know the scale. Okay? And so this idea that when I play the chord A minor, I play the scale that goes over top of that chord to sound like I kind of know what I'm doing, regardless of what instrument I'm on. So we're going to go back to it. So over here on another instrument, I'm just going to make something up, like a bass. I'm going to play A minor, the chord. So that chord's looping, and I'm playing those notes again, just A, C, E. on the drums, I'm gonna just right. So that's it. I mean, we're just doing the easiest thing on earth. We're playing an A minor chord. Now, again, excuse me. If I want to play a scale over that, I'm just going to play A minor scale. So let me just find a sound. I made a good lead one over here. They're my sounds. I think it's just, yeah, this one. Yes. So if I play that scale, which is A to A, playing the chord sounds like you know what you're doing, like notes in the chord. Playing the scale also makes it sound like you know what you're doing, right? Okay, hopefully this is a huge learning moment. And what I'm just teaching you right now, the word is window solo. So inside of that A minor chord, you play this scale, you're in the window, the mode, Aeolian. You're a minor chord, the 6th degree of C major is how we would explain this. So if you had another musician sit in, you had a horn player, you're like, I need you in the 6th scale degree of C major. You sound like a nerd. Yes, you do. This is the formula to writing good music. Okay, not good music, but just music that you could come back to and work on later. I more mean that. I'm like, how do you work on your music so you can come back to it and actually know what you're doing? Okay, so that's like what we're trying to do. Now, I'm going to go a step further. So hopefully you took a good screenshot of that. Boom, snap. And now I'm going to redo same thing. I'm going to say C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And that's our reference to what? C major. And this is called a diatonic scale, which is 7 degrees. Okay. So hopefully you're kind of with me and you're learning today your first diatonic scale. You might have known this already, but this is just like filling in the words, right? Okay, and the other thing we learned is the word, this is the modes are the words we're learning. It's a mode, and the one we did was Aeolian, and that was the 6th scale degree, right? All right, they all have names. You want to learn those, but right now we're just going to talk slightly about them. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 1. Okay, so, all right, the mode was 6 was the first one we picked up on, and that was like the first part of the song. Not a joke, right? That's all we did. So we're writing the intro of a song on one chord. A lot of people do this. Hey, we're here, we're starting a song for you. We're gonna write some words that are fresh. It's not a joke. This is how people write music, okay? So, Joseph being your buddy, I'm teaching you right now how to do this, right? Okay. Now we got to pick a change in it. In the Ableton world, in the Move, that gives me the next scene. So if I just copied this clip to this clip spot, and we're like, right? Okay. Now, as a musician, I have to pick the next chord change. What are we going to do, right? So in my head already, this is the intro. And hopefully you like the channel. If you want to subscribe to more of this, you can. The theory of this comes from Adam Cadman. In these books, this is the Guitar Grimoire series, Adam talks about the window soloing here, Mixolydian solo patterns of D. He will walk you through exactly what I'm showing you. These are the chords you play. These are the windows that you solo within. This is if you play guitar. It's in a book, this theory that I'm teaching you. It's from a actual printed $27, buy it, get it used. It's $20, okay? But there's tons of these. There's a keyboard one, there's a bass one, there's a guitar one, and there's different variances of them. Go get one of these books. I swear to you, in a month or two of just picking a page, practicing what's on it, picking a page, practice what's on it. It's not a joke. You will get so much better at playing like songs, things that sound like songs, because you don't feel like you're lost and you don't know what you're doing. This will cover the circle of fifths. That's what we're learning today. And it will cover a lot of the things that I'm talking about in a extreme amount of detail. Okay, so I read these books regularly, not to torture myself, but so I can teach, so I can be smarter, right? So there was a little plug for Adam's books. Hopefully, if you like the channel, you can always like and subscribe. You can leave me a comment. You can let me know what you want to learn more of. Today, we're talking about chords. We're using the Move. We're using Elektron. We're using OPXY for the learning purposes of electronic music education, right? We've done our intro out of just the A minor chord, right? And now what we're going to do next is what's going to be called the verse, all right? So don't get nervous. We're writing it down. This is why we have a paper and a pen and a marker at our music station, so we can get better at making better melodies, right? And so we know what key we're in. We're in C major, right? And we did the Aeolian scale as the intro, right? Now, in the verse, sorry, I'm going to just put intro. Okay, intro. We know. Okay, good. All right, now in the verse, you go to your piano and you're like, well, I don't know what I'm going to play yet. And I'm going to mute. Elektron's muted, right? The drums are coming out of the Move. And now I teach people, you play around. You know, you go to your piano. Hear the resolution in the major chord already. So that was what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 6. So 5 has such a home. So does 6 to me too. So our progression, I just made it up out of nowhere. It's going to be the 5 chord and the 6 chord, which is G chord major dominant 7. And this is a minor chord, A minor. So now we know our windows, which means when I play the G chord, I think like that. And when I play the A chord, I think like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Right? So it's note to note, and these are the windows. So now I'm going to play the chords first, and I'm going to record 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chord. 6 chord, 5 chord, quantize, 6 chord, right? And if I wanted to play the bass to that, I just followed the notes with the bass. So the bass is following. And this isn't a joke. See how simple? All right, we're going for simple. And if I pick the sound over here, all right, so G, A, G, A minor, record, see, so I just recorded that, right? Not the best, but I try, right? You gotta try. You gotta start somewhere, right? And now when you want to solo, 5, 6, G scale, so scale, 5 scale, 6 scale, right? Okay, not to drive you nuts, I'm sorry. Okay, so now we learned our verse, right? I'm gonna mute. And now I know if I decided play the verse, I can go there. If I want the intro, I'm in the first lane. If I go the second one, it's the verse. And guess what we're gonna do now? You guessed it. We're gonna make a chorus. Right? There it is. Not a very good one, but we're going to pretend. All right, so I did a duplicate. So there's like a fill at the end of the 4 bars. It's our chorus. Now I got to pick chords, right? The difference in verse and chorus, always for me, hi-hats, very simple, verse. Chorus always has the ride cymbal, right? So the quick trick in drum programming is you just change cymbals, right? So I'm going to say chorus. All right. And we're still picking from our group. We're staying in C major. I'm keeping it real easy this time. We're not talking about passing tone. We're not talking about modal interchange. No hard stuff right now. We're just going to keep it easy, okay? Now, the simplicity in this, the reason I'm making it simple, let me see, sorry. Okay. The reason I'm making this simple was people have been requesting this, so I want it simple. But now I want to go to this grid and talk about what my hand's doing, okay? These triangles that I make, it's just literally, it's the 1, 3, 5. So when I play a C, C, E, G, C, E, G, every other note. D, F, A isn't D, F, A, it's every other note. It's the same thing on the piano when we, sorry that sound, but you know what I mean. You're getting what I'm talking about. So I've just repeated the same theory over and over again, how to play chords. And when I play the chord, G, I play the G scale. When I play the A chord, I play the A scale. That is called window soloing. That comes from Adam Cadman's book. It's definitely from a lot of other books, but that's one of the books that I studied it in. The Guitar Handbook is another book that's in regularly. So the chorus now, we want a lot of resolution. I've been picking minor chords, not on purpose, yes, in both places as the last thing humans hear. And that's leaving a lot of tension in what we're doing. So if I decide now to make a chorus that has a large amount of resolution, okay, this is Songwriter 101. All right, and if you've never heard this, you got to stick with me, okay? The minor chords seem like they leave you hanging, okay? Like they don't finish. So when I play like a 2, sorry, let me go an octave up. When I play a 3, and when I play a 6, they shouldn't feel like they resolve as much as that chord, which is 5, and especially 4, and especially 1. So the 4 and the 1 are supposedly the most at-home feeling that a human will get who understands music not that much. So your major chord is you're calling to a human to say, we've come home, we are where we want to be, okay? Now, the minor chords are adding mystique and interest and cool things, but literally the major chords are where you land and people go, they're finished, they're finished. Does that make, you know what I mean? All right, so we're going to listen as the beat plays. I'm just lowering it a little bit. But when I go to the chords, if I decide that I'm going to play a 3, 2, 1. Now this is no joke. That's a E minor chord, a D minor chord, and a C major chord. If I decide I'm going to play these 3 chords with the beat, 2, 3, 4. We come home on the last chord. It sounds like you're there, right? You know? All right, now I'm going to hit record. 2, 3. So again, 3, 2, 1. Super cheesy, I know, but I'm just doing it. And when we would solo over top of that, that last chord should be the... I'm at home. Sorry, my pitch is bad. I'm just being an idiot. But you want to land home. You want to resolve somewhere where people are like, okay, they finished. Okay. The 3 and the 2 are gorgeous chords. And I'm playing that as 7s. When you play every other note on your piano, you will successfully play the correct chords. So just start with 3-note chords: D, C, E, G, D, F, A, E, G, B, F, A, C. If you just start with 3 notes in your chords, you'll succeed faster than if you try to play all those complicated chords. You don't do that, okay? Don't do that. It's overwhelming. It hurts your soul. It makes you sad, because then you fail a lot. I know, and music's about failing as much as succeeding. You got to fail to get somewhere, okay? So if this is hard at first, you're normal. You're human. Congratulations, okay? Nobody said this was easy on day one, unless they were like just immediately knew what music was doing. Those are people with perfect pitch, right? Hopefully you're getting something out of this. Did you see how we wrote this song? And I deliberately stayed away from making this, listen to my music, and I made this more about, look how we're writing a tune very fast, okay? Now you're like, does Joseph do this in his head regularly? The answer is yes, because I understand the key signatures, and I understand that they all have positions that we're landing on. And as soon as I'm around people, I'm like, hey, we're in the key of F. Everybody play with me. We're in the key of C. It's so other musicians can jam over top of you and not feel like they don't know where you're going. This is a road map. Like when you go to Google Maps and you make a map, I'm going here, and it tells you the directions. These are the directions for everybody that's playing music with you. Now, isn't it important to give yourself the proper directions to talk to yourself? It's not even a joke. So the reason I tell you this for yourself is that down the road you can play, like if I recorded this today and then I went to work and I came back 4 hours later and then I was like, oh my God, I got an idea in that song. Do you think I would know what I'm doing? Yes. And if I'm just like, well, I'm just picking random sounds out of the sky, you can do that too, and you're working by ear, and I'm not going to tell you that's wrong. I'm going to just say reapproaching your music is a little tougher in that instance, okay? And I'm not saying that's wrong, because if you make noise, ambient, whatever, you just tune oscillators to each other, that is a correct way to make music, okay? So there's tons of good ways to make music, right? All right, I'm going to go one more deeper. Hopefully people are still with me. If you're not, you can always tune in and come back and watch the video later. Hopefully you're getting something out of this. I'm picking a different key signature, and I said F, so I'm going to pick F, G, A, B flat, and you're like, how do you know that? And I say, well, the circle of fifths. Remember, I told you that. So this is F major. And the same thing applies. So the same theory that I made up in that other song, hurry up and make your positions so that you can write a chord progression, okay? 7, okay. So now we got our key, we got our chords. What do they mean? Major, major, dominant 7. So this is dominant. This is major 7. The symbol for major 7 is a triangle, and these are minor, minor, minor. So these are our minor chords. And they are different, but I'm going to say they're minor. They have just different buildup in the chords, and we'll talk about that at a later time. This is diminished. All right, so if you learn this real fast, just these words, you got major 7, dominant 7, you've got minor, 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 and you got a diminished chord. If you just learn that language right away, you're going to be safe for now. And we'll go deeper into that rabbit hole some other time. Okay, F means I have to change the quantization on this box to say F major, because B flat is built into F major. So quantized machines, you got to change. And then I'm going to explain this on our teenage engineering device because it's a regular piano. So if I play from F to F, I go F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. That is the roadmap now for the key of F major. That means your horn player can play. That means your bass player can come in. That means your singer knows how to tune their voice. That means the flutist knows how to play with you. I'm not joking. Pick a key, okay? So I just picked F, and when I play in my other instruments, F, and then when I go. So now everybody's in key. They're sonically locked together. And when I start playing chords, the blue one on move is 1. The number 9 over here and the number 1 are 1 here. They're like the beginning. And in solfege, that's the do. When you heard do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So when I studied music theory, we were taught to do it with our voice. If you could say it, you could play it. So, you know, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. You learn to hold those notes and have a little falsetto. This is singing class, right? That's how you learn how to sing. Right now, we're learning how to keyboard or how to synthesize these notes. And this is so you understand music theory, all right? And this is Songwriting 101. So if you're learning how to write progressions with me, congratulations. I'm glad you're here. It's Saturday morning. It's May 10th. So hopefully everybody's having a great day. We're learning the basics of music theory. This is window soloing. So the word window is what Adam Kaplan calls it when I play over top in the right key. Meaning if I play a 4 chord, a B flat major, right? That would be that chord. If I played 5, that'd be a C major. And then if I played a 1, I'd play an F. That was what I just did. So 4, 5, 1. That's our progression, right? That's what I just played. Now if I picked another group of chords, let's do it again together. If I did a 5, 3, 1. So then I would play 5, 3, 1. Ready? 5. Sounds like a Chaperone song, right? I'm serious. This is how all the bands write their music. So what I'm teaching you today is vital in songwriting. Every band does this. Everyone who's a good songwriter will go, yeah, I studied my circle of fifths. I know how to write. I can teach way crazier ways to pick chords than this, like jazz. We can go a whole other direction. Today is not the day that we do that. Today is the day that we stay simple, that we're learning our basics, that we're saying, Joseph, I didn't realize these basics were needed. I'm sorry I can't write. That's a 6. My hands don't work. Remember, it's a V, small I. All right, how do we do this again? So I just made one up. I did 5, I did 3, I did 1. That was my first progression. So on the move, if I just go to a new location, it's not a joke. I'm just like so fast. And the reason I'm so fast is because I do this so much, right? You'll only get better if you just keep practicing, I swear. All right, we got our beat. And now, what did I say? 5, 3, 1. And what if I did 3 again to come back? It's like a turnaround. So let's 2, 3, and 5, 3, 1, 3, 5, 3, 1, 3, right? One, 3. Now as a bass play. 1, 5, 3, 1, 3. Already, there we go. Quantize, that's it. So the bass line's written. And what if you want to practice your finger drumming? Practice anything you want when you do this. You could practice your bass playing. You could practice your drumming. You could practice your piano playing. The reason you get this riff and a drum beat going in the first place is so that you have a center of how to like practice. This is a riff. This could be a progression. We call this so many different things, right? It could be a jam. What if you don't even want anything else? You just want this as the only thing you do. It's just a jam. I'm just jamming. House musicians, it's just a house song. They might cut it into fragments. You might hear 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. You know, and it just might jump between these two for a minute, and then you get a little bit of 1, then you go back. You know, the relationship of these chords and the relationship of this key is the reason you sound like you know what you're kind of doing. And then when you invite someone over to practice with you, or you're trying to record tomorrow, the people and yourself can come back and play to yourself, you know, can wrap it up, all right? So we can pick one more progression, and then I'm going to end the stream, because I think this is a good place for you to go home and practice now. Or if you're at home, you're going to practice your C major now, and you're going to practice F major, because Joseph taught you 2 keys that you can print and put on paper in front of you and practice over and over and over again, okay? Because that's what makes you good at it, right? So if we picked another progression, what if I pick like a 6, 2, 6, 1, right? So this was G, A, F, A, and this one's going to be, sorry, D, G, D, F, right? So that would sound, sorry. Right, 6. Oh, that's cool, right? Oh, sorry, Joey messed up. Undo, right? So let's say, oh. 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 6, 1, 6, 6, right? 2, 1, 6, 1. So I just did the bass too. See? It's literally that fast. I can't say it any easier, right? Now the point is to learn your window solo. So what if you were like, well, I got a keyboard, I didn't know what you were doing, but show me again. So I got a lead synth, and we said we're in F. So remember, F, G, A, B flat. That's the key here. So if I want to jam over myself, here we go. Play those chords. Now this might be tougher for you because you're not used to it, right? But if I played these chords, let's go to a piano. Let me get to piano. I would play 6, so F. The 6 of F is D minor, so it's D minor, G minor, which is tough for people. Look at, you gotta play B flat. And then what's the last chord? F major, ready? Or just, right? So we're gonna try to jam. Let's listen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. And now here we go, let's try it. 6, 2. So you can see it, right? Now if we're playing our lead synth, oh, sorry. Literally, that's on stream. When you see me making music, these are how I write all of my progressions. You're watching it happen in real time. You're seeing Joseph just write. You know, that's kind of like, that's kind of the point, right? Is to learn how to do this language we call music, right? Sometimes you're not sure what you're getting into. Sometimes you're not sure what you're going to do. And then you start making a small roadmap. And the roadmap comes from the circle of fifths. So everything that I taught you today is based on this little circle here. If you look it up online and start studying it, I know your music will get in just light years better. I know your understanding of music will increase 20-fold, I promise. And then if you have questions, you can leave comments in the stream. You can email me directly. Today's book lesson came from Adam Cadman, and this comes for window soloing. Window soloing keys of G, but we were in the key of F. So this is page 163 of Adam Cadman's Improvisation and Soloing. This comes from exactly that. And I'm not joking. Like a lot of these things I talk about, I know it seems like I'm just blabbing on stream. I actually have a plan when I talk to everybody, and I actually teach from books. I teach from knowledge on the internet. I do a lot of research. My music gets researched over thousands of times. I research samplers. I research synthesizers. I research modules, groove boxes. I teach a lot of this stuff to students in studios all over the world. I'm very fortunate that I get to do this. But on stream, I get to do it for you guys, and I get to slow down and focus on one little thing, and we get to explore this so that when you're by yourself, you have something to practice. If you have an Elektron box, if you have a teenage engineering device, if you have a Move, if you just have a laptop, you don't need to have all the gear that I have, and you don't need to put, as much into it. You just need to put the effort into the knowledge. And I think if you just a little bit of that with GarageBand, a little bit of that with your Roland little thing you found used at the pawn shop. I'm not joking. This can go so far that you would be really happy with the new songs you start to write, because you can come back to what you're doing tomorrow and you can share it with a friend, and they can go, oh man, I was listening to that song you gave me and you told me it was in F, so I got to practice my guitar with you. Can I record on your track? Because I got an idea. You never know what this seed will plant in your musical garden. So all puns intended. I hope everybody's having a great Saturday. It's May, and I hope everyone's getting ready for the summer. I hope you're educating yourself regularly, reading books or trying to read or trying to educate yourself online. I hope you're just not doom scrolling. I get caught doom scrolling every once in a while, but I try to keep that at a minimum because I know I have a lot going on teaching and being passionate about life and passionate about what I like to do. So I hope everybody's having a great day. Thanks for tuning in. I'll leave you with my cheesy electro song as the play out.
Go have a good day.